So this is covering some things and some subject matters that I like to talk about. For example, one of the biggest issues I've seen with a lot of community in my community is um, there's this thing where they go around and shun each other out, or they will victimize other people in our community. If you don't have the hottest bod, if you're not sometimes even effeminate looking enough or presenting enough, or the opposite, you're not masculine enough or straight acting enough. They will bully or mock you, almost like the Mean Girls from the subject, like the movie Mean Girls, because I've seen a lot of the times they will idolize these subject matters of the Mean Girls or Regina George, some notoriously famous drag or androgynous performers have gone after the role of trying to be Regina George, the mean girl, the popular girl, and wanting to be that popular girl. Nowadays, you see it changing with some of the landscape, but they did reinvent the Mean Girls movie into a musical. As far as I understand, it wasn't as popular as the Lindsay Lohan version, which, I mean, it is a standout classic. It is, in some groups, it is a cult classic too. Um, but um, I see the frequent alienation, a frequent pushing out of the other in the groups. If it's the macho guys who hang out with each other, they don't want to hang out with the disabled guy, or they don't want to hang out with the effeminate guy because they don't want to be presented that way in their groups. Um, Especially when they get together and are hanging out together in those small groups. I've noticed in older groups, there's a lot of the shaming of younger folks, and vice versa. So the younger folks will shame the older folks. And in those circles, there's usually a sugar daddy going, or a sugar daddy situation, or in a straight community would be a sugar mama situation where they want to spoil them dirty, or the person wants to be spoiled and live for free somewhere and be able to um, not work a single day of their life and just have people continuously pay for them. And I guess that works in their favor because they find a partner who's willing to participate in that situation. Now, when it comes to relationships, though, and those groups, those dynamics, um, effeminate, which I've seen a lot nowadays with trans individuals, um, there's a lot of people who are saying that somebody's not presenting female or attempting to present female. But in their case, they think that they are, and then they try to prove it, and these like they try to make videos to prove it, and then the other person tries to act like the mean girl, um, adding that male masculinity of being that trans person bullying another female because of what they've seen. I've seen there's a classic video of Lily Tino being bullied and interviewed, but she's being indirectly bullied by this trans interviewer who is a father of a family. He has transitioned to a woman. He has tattoos on his head that might not be hireable in the hiring situation, but he's trying to entrap Lily Tino and trying to present Lily Tino in a bad light. When Lily Tino was, they were manipulating what she was saying and trying to get her to seem like she was a certain way she was not. And I've seen that especially nowadays where they throw other people into the mix in order to prove an argument, or they will bring up dictators or Nazis or dead babies, and they will bring them into an argument to prove a point or try to win an argument as if it's the golden ticket to Willy Wonka's chocolate factory, and that will win them whatever argument they're trying to present. I've also seen where a lot of times when they're doing those presentations of the Mean Girls, they are trying to either present themselves as or dressing like and or trying to stylize their character based on who they want to be and who they can present themselves. I think they try to manifest something. If they believe it hard enough or if the delusion is strong enough, they can manifest it into reality. And I think that's what a lot of the um, delusion happens, where they put them in a state of delusion and they believe it, then manifestation happens, or it's like a magic trick. They're masters of their own reality, and if somebody's a master of their own reality, they can also manipulate reality to their favor. And that goes into a lot of arguments that I've seen on the other side too, or those other people's arguments where they will find facts that aren't really facts, or they will find contradictory statements or edit a video to make it seem like the person is malicious when they're not. For example, some of the videos, like I guess the one at Disney, which was an inappropriate setting, and I agree, it was an inappropriate setting for Lily Tino to record at, but her mother, I believe, was assisting her in the video. Um, and Lily Tino, when the one thing about the pregnancy one, she made it clear that she didn't want to have offspring. She was just talking about future, um, I guess, future concepts or future science, which to me thinks it's a little bit bizarre or it's science fiction. But they are putting embryos into robots now, or trying to make that happen too. So who knows what they're trying to do with science nowadays? It's scary to think about all those things that are happening and what is going on. And it's we don't know what, like for example, COVID happened, and we don't know what's going on in labs or what viruses are mutating. And monkeypox was happening for a while too. And I think that had to do with something with the majority of unprotected that was going around, and people were spreading it like crazy with the advancement of PrEP. So I think the advancement of PrEP also might have stimulated the development of COVID and monkeypox. Um, it's a theory, could be wrong. It's just something that I theorized, but I'm not a scientist, and I have no basis or statistics to base that on. But I know that those things are happening, and there was basis on HIV and other STIs that were becoming more immune, more advanced, rapid because of those practices. So I think COVID and also monkeypox could have come out of that mix. Now that particular person is no stranger to controversies, but the people who are also saying those commentary are no strangers to controversies or conflict themselves. For example, Blair White's had numerous times where she's had numerous trans people go after her for saying her mind and speaking her piece. And her interviews, she does talk about being her authentic self. However, the counter side of the other trans people is that they are being their authentic selves too. And there's this ongoing turmoil between the both of them. And they will usually use their political affiliation to support their stance. I've seen Blair White mock disabled people. I've seen her go after mentally ill people. I've seen her go after, she tries to entrap or get into arguments. I guess there was this one Canadian trans person that um, sued for his right to use a women's waxing facility. The person lost, and they got in an argument. The person, I guess, has done bad things, and Blair White wanted to point that out. But the conflict was that Blair White was still there with the intent to harass that person. Um, Same with other people. You see, like the normal gays are intending to harass those people and bully those people. And they, I guess there's one video there. I don't know if it was a joke, but they were talking about interviewing Lily Tino and trying to get a better interview where they entrap her and accuse her of things. Um, Again, and they were mocking her Star Trek cosplay video. Um, Talking about trans aliens. I mean, Rocky Horror Picture Show was about trans aliens. Frankenfurter was considered a bad guy, though. So I mean that might contradict because in that one, Frankenfurter was a transvestite, but Frankenfurter also was the person who played Pennywise. So I think a lot of times they make the comparison of Pennywise and Frankenfurter, and they use those arguments to argue against certain individuals they want to shut out and or alienate from the world based on those cult figures. So, in conclusion to what I had to say, and just get my 2 cents out there, um, I have no intent of causing harm or disrespect to the individuals I speak about. I'm not there for the credit or the to get money from the individuals I speak about. What I'm talking about is my point of view, what I see in the subjects of the videos in which I see them post, because they do make good points. They do present an opposite opinion that does make sense at times. But the continuous hate that they spread about each other is what causes the separation in our society and our gay community to be less whole, and it's what they are doing, people are doing to separate us so we are less strong together. And that's what they're starting to divide us so then they can conquer us. It's a art of war strategy where these individuals, especially the religious right and religious left, because there are religious people on the left too, want to divide us so then we don't have the same rights. We don't, you know, but we don't share the same circles. And the whole point is getting together and having the ability to express those opinions, which is what some of the debates are about, to express those opinions on both sides. But when they're dividing us, it's letting them win and letting them conquer us. Um, so to continue on to my conclusion, I'm not looking for big fame. I'm not looking to get my name out there by slandering other people. I'm looking to present my point of view from being an outside point of view of that perspective of those people. And if you like what I say, want to support what I say, a like, follow, and subscribe would be great on my channel. I like to get my point of view out there more and just video blog more about what it's like to be in the gay community. As in my point of view, because I can only speak from my point of view as a gay, asexual, autistic individual.